Welcome to Office Hours with IB, Series 1, Episode 12, Reset for the New Year. Good morning, founders, and welcome to the final episode of Office Hours with IB, Series 1. Today is not about strategy. It's not about goals. It's not about hustle. Today is about something just as important, resetting. Because before you rush into a new year, you need space to reflect on the one you're leaving behind. Let's pause for a moment. This year asked a lot of you. You showed up when you were unsure. You kept going when progress was slow. You made decisions without guarantees. You carried vision, responsibility, and pressure, often quietly. And whether this year felt like a win, a struggle, or a mix of both, here's something you need to hear. You made it through. That alone matters. A powerful reframe. Resetting is not quitting. Resetting is not starting over because you failed. Resetting is choosing alignment over exhaustion. It's deciding to enter the new year lighter, not heavier, clearer, not rushed, more intentional, not reactive. Let's acknowledge the journey over the past weeks. You didn't just listen, you showed up. You gave yourself permission to pause for office hours, to question direction, to sharpen focus. We started this journey by asking why founders even need office hours in the first place. A space to step back when the noise gets loud, when clarity feels distant, and when burnout starts whispering. And from there, you did the work. You learned that ideas only move forward when action follows intention. That resilience isn't pretending everything is fine. It's staying rooted when things aren't. That the right coach doesn't save you, they stretch you. That scaling without burning out requires systems, not sacrifice. You faced the money conversation, not with fear, but with clarity. You reframed sales from pressure into storytelling and connection. You strengthened your mindset, learning that how you think determines how far you go. You learned that building a winning team isn't about resumes, but alignment, like Sarah Blakely, choosing belief over experience, or leaders creating circles of safety where people rise instead of retreat. You stepped into leadership, learning to work on the business, not just in it, designing systems instead of drowning in tasks, just as the E-Myth Revisited teaches. And most recently, you were reminded that the chosen ones don't wait to be picked. They prepare, they show up, they believe before the world confirms it. That's not small growth. That's transformation. The books, the stories, the lessons along the way. You heard echoes from books like Atomic Habits, reminding you that small, consistent actions compound. Leaders Eat Last, showing you that trust builds teams that last. Mindset, teaching you to see setbacks as data, not definition. The E-Myth Revisited, challenging you to design systems, not jobs. And the stories founders like Oprah choosing herself, Sarah Blakely betting on belief, Midge Maisel claiming her seat, leaders stepping into rooms before they felt ready, all pointing to one truth. Growth happens when intention meets consistency. A lesson from nature. Nothing in nature grows non-stop. Trees shed leaves. Seasons change. Fields rest before they produce again. Growth requires rhythm, and founders forget this more than anyone. If you don't reset, you carry old pressure into a new season, and that weight eventually slows you down. Resetting is not a weakness. It's wisdom. 3 questions for this reset moment before you plan the new year. Ask yourself gently, what worked this year and why? Not just what succeeded, but what felt aligned. What drained me even if it looked successful? Growth that costs your peace is too expensive. What do I want more of in the next season? Clarity, focus, rest, systems, confidence. Your answers are your compass. A quiet truth about new beginnings: the new year doesn't reward noise. It responds to clarity. You don't need a brand new version of yourself. You need a truer one, more honest about your limits, more disciplined about your focus, more intentional about where your energy goes. What this series was really about, Office Hours, was never about perfection. It was about creating a rhythm, weekly pauses for reflection, alignment, and growth. It was about reminding you that you are allowed to slow down without falling behind. You are allowed to redefine success. You are allowed to build differently. And most importantly, you are not behind. You are becoming. Final words as this year closes. Don't rush to reinvent yourself. Rest. Reflect. Reset. Carry forward what served you. Release what didn't. And step into the new year lighter, clearer, and more grounded. This is not the end. It's a pause, a breath, a quiet, powerful beginning. Thank you for spending this season with me in Office Hours with IB. Until next time, build with intention, lead with clarity, and move forward aligned. Welcome to Office Hours with IB, where every setback is a setup for your next success. I'll see you next year for our new session in the next series. Subscribe now and join me next year, same time, same space, for another powerful session to fuel your week as a founder.